You're alright there, folks. What's going on? Good to see you as always. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the Australian Open. We're on day 3 now. We're going to be going through the rest of the round 1 matches very shortly. Before we get into them, like the video if you would. Subscribe if you're not. I'd appreciate it if you did. If you want to support the channel, links in the description and the pinned comment. Right then. Same as usual, I've got 1 day left of round 1. I imagine there's going to be a couple of upsets today. Couple big favourites, some rough ones as well. The odds are a lot better today than what we've had the past 2 days, so we'll see what we can get. First things first, if anyone watched that Jack the Ripper game last night, what did you think on that? He looked so bad, didn't he? He looked so bad, and I had him minus the points, and he ended up finishing within 5, I think it was. So it weren't, he weren't that far off covering the spread as what I initially thought, but fuck me, did he look so bad. He looked so bad. I can't do nothing about that. I didn't think he was going to play that bad. You can't be getting dragged to 5 sets against Mariano Navona. You just can't. You just can't. Some of the excuses I've heard coming out for him as well are just ridiculous. It's just, no, I'm not having it. I went from thinking he was going to cover that spread to just praying that he won the match. So for the rest of the tournament, I don't know how it's going to go for him. I've got him to reach the 4th round on the outright. I'm probably just going to sit on that for the next few games. I don't think I'm going to take him. He looked really, really worrying. But anyway, just thought to get that out the way. The day of redemption is upon me. I've got a good feeling about it. There's a couple of decent looks here. Look, we'll go through the big favourites really quick. There's not a lot, so it should be fast. First one, we've got Demon or Botic van der Sandschulp. It's got to be the Demon on it. Demon's going to be winning that. He's 1.07. You can get him around 1.1 if you're going to be taking that. Like, I've got plans for Demon, so you may already see it in the pinned comment, but if you hang on, I'll tell you about it. Yeah, he's getting that one done. There's no doubt in my mind. The next really big one, Daniel Medvedev's playing the lad from Thailand. Don't even have to speak about it, do we? Straight sets, all day, easy as you like for Medvedev there. Is there another one? I feel like there's another one. There's some, but then, you know what, I'll just touch on them in a bit. They're like the really big ones, but there's a few 1.2s and around about, but yeah, Taylor Fritz, Jensen Brooksby. Seen a lot of people taking Brooksby plus the 8.5 there. I don't blame you. It's a lot of games. It's a lot of points. I've got Taylor Fritz on an outright as well to make it to the quarterfinals. So no value in this game. I'm just going to sit on it and just hope that he gets through. I'm pretty sure he will though. And I'm pretty sure that is it. Now for the rest of them, look, Kachinov's going to beat Manarino, isn't he? I may as well throw that out there. Karen Kachanov will beat Adrian Manarino. I'm certain of that. He's beaten 4 times before. You get a Manarino like a 6 to 1 dog, 6.5 to 1. Yeah, says it all. He ain't been looking too good lately, has he? Be Kachanov all day for me. I'm trying to think where to start. So, you know what? We'll start with some of the interesting ones, and then I've grouped up about 6 or 7 games towards the end that I'm just going to lob in a category that I'm going to call the over 3.5s. I'm going to probably start doing this more often as well. I feel like if it's too tough to pick a side, over 3.5 sets in a lot of these looks really, really good, and the odds are decent for them too, so we'll get to that when we get to it. But first off for us is going to be Kekmanovic, Dusan Lazovic. 1.25 for Kekmanovic, roundabout. Lazovic has beat him twice before. They've only played twice. Head to head is 2-0 to him. Both of them were on the clay, 2023. What I've said all season, you can't be getting beat on the hard court by Dusan Lazovic. You just can't. Kekmanovic has played really good so far this season. He looked really good in Adelaide. He got to the semi-finals, ended up getting beat by Sebastian Korda, but on the way he smoked Bublik, he smoked Christopher O'Connell, and he smoked Benjamin Bonzi, all in straight sets. Went 1-1 in Hong Kong, beat Darderi, took a set off Muller too. Dusan Lazovic, he didn't even get through qualifying for Adelaide. We've seen him twice so far, and we've bet against them both times. Mensah done him in straight sets, and Adam Walton beat him too. Dusan Lazovic, I mean, don't want to sound like I'm shitting on the guy, but let's just call it for what it is. He always does shit in this Australian Open. I don't think he didn't get past the first round last year. He got beat by fucking, is it Julio Zeppieri? Yeah, got beat by Zeppieri in the first round, and then he got beat by El Chapo in the first round the year before that. Got to the second round in 2022. Yeah, he bumped into Alcaraz, so fair play. Kekmanovic, I'm pretty sure he had a decent run last year. He did. He beat Watanuki, he beat Struff, and he beat Tommy Paul. Ended up getting beat by Alcaraz. That's going to be the first one on me parlay. I've got two parlays today. They're both boosted to evens on BetMGM as well. I had some percent boost, so I'm just going to rock with them. You've probably already seen, but first one on it for me is going to be Kekmanovic. I know the head-to-head would suggest that Lazovic is slightly better than him, but he's just not, especially on these surfaces. I'm willing to back the player with a lot more form behind him. Say Kekmanovic, he looked really good. He looked really good. He did. Lazovic has looked shite. I'd be willing to roll a dice on Kekmanovic. Moving on, we've got Zhang, Holger Rune. Holger Rune's going to beat him. I'm pretty certain that Holger Rune's going to beat him. We've seen him get beat by we did see him get beat by Lehechka in Adelaide. Oh, let me just get rid of that, sorry. Was it Adelaide? Oh, Brisbane, sorry, pardon me. He got beat by Lehechka, he was a favourite in that game too. Zhang hasn't won a game since, well, he's won, he beat Thiago Monteiro at the end of December in the United Cup, but that was he's won one of his last 10. One of his last 10 has been beat by El Chapo, Taylor Fritz, Zverev, okay. Echeverry, Dimitrov, Karatsev, Zizou, Bergs, Davidovich, Vakina, Marin Cilic. Easy. Routine win for Holger Rune, in my opinion. He got knocked out in the second round last year by Artica Zo. He did. I'm not expecting him to go deep in this tournament because he never really does. But I'm pretty sure he's got enough to beat Zhang. I really do. Zhang's not a bad player. He's not a bad player. He's in a really bad patch at the moment. I can't see this. If you're banking on a game to try and turn it around, you've probably got the worst opponent to try and do it with. I feel like Holger Rune with his new staff. I think he's got new staff now, and I'm willing to roll a dice on it. It's the last lot of the first round. Why the fuck not? Try and redeem myself. Redeem myself for Jack Draper. I'm not apologising for him, but I feel like I definitely need to get one back for myself there. Holger Rune is going to help me do it. I know he will. He won't get beat by Zhang here. I'm pretty sure he won't. Zhang got to the second round last year. He beat Federico Coria in the first round. That means nothing to me. And ended up getting beat by Hugo Humbert. Got knocked out of the first round the year before that by Ben Shelton, and didn't even get through qualifying the time before that. Holger Rune on the money line is the second one on the treble for me personally anyway. And you know what, while it's here, this is 1.2 Lena Tien against Ugo Carabelli. It's Lena Tien all day. Couldn't even get me words out then. Lena Tien will definitely beat this guy. I'm sure about it. Ugo Carabelli's more of a clay dude, isn't he? I'm certain of that. Yeah. 32 wins on the hard court since 2016. 32-27, 3-1-4 to 1-7-3 on the clay. There you have it. Lena Tien, we've seen a lot of him the past month or two, didn't we? 53-8 last season on the hard court. Got some decent wins in the next gen as well. Looked really good in qualifying. Easiest treble of your fucking life, that, in my opinion anyway. The fact that you can get it boosted to evens as well, double your money on that. Kekmanovic, Rune, Lena Tien. They're all faced off as well, pretty much. So if I can get that one to start me off, I'll be very, very pleased with that. Let me know what you think on it. And then, yeah, go on. We'll talk about the trebles in it, and then we'll go through the over 3.5. So Facundo Diaz Acosta's playing Zizou Bergs. Zizou Berg has beaten once before. When was that? Last year, Antwerp on the hard court. Now I've got slight concerns over the fitness of Zizou Berg. He has just played a very, very long tournament in Adelaide. Um, some were very rough games as well. Ended up getting beat in the final by Monfils. He's had a couple days off. He's had just a couple days off. And I say a couple, I mean like, well, before he plays this, he'd have had two, basically. This is where the quality comes into play, innit? He's around, what, 1.5 on the decimal, yeah? I still think he's that much better than Facundo Diaz Acosta on the hard court. We mentioned it about him previously, didn't we? Yeah, 3-8 last season. He's went 3-3 this year. Who did he beat? He beat Cam Norrie, who looked garbage, and he's beat Sebastian Baez. And he beat someone in qualifying who weren't that good either. Smoked by Monfils, beat by Luca Nardi. Zizou Berg has had an absolute flyer of a start. An absolute flyer, and providing he's still fit, I'd be willing to bet that he wins this one. This could be an over 3.5 sets. I'm not too sure, but you know, he's only been beat by what, Artifice and Gael Monfils. Beat Carreño Buster, Comesaña, Isaac Berghoff, Luca Nardi, Carvalho Baena, Nuno Bosch. I'd be willing to bet that he can beat Facundo Diaz Acosta. I've been flip-flopping between it for the past few hours, but I need to just make a decision, and I feel like I've already made it. Zizou Bergs should be filled with, like, brimming with confidence, brimming with it, bags of the shit, bags of confidence from the way he's been playing the last week or two. If he's really that bad, he won't be able to make it through the full game. And I can't see Diaz Acosta just drilling him in straight sets. If he has to retire, he probably will. Fingers crossed it doesn't get to that. I'm willing to roll the dice on Zizou Berg one more time. At least just for this first round. At least for the first round. Let's see how he holds up. Why not? What next? What next? Oh, fucking hell. Now we'll save them to the end. Look, Tristan Boyer, Federico Correa, I've got him at 1.2 here. As you can see, he's on me treble as well. I know for a fact he's going to win. He's really good on the hard court. I think he's won, what, 8 of his last 10. He's on an 8-game win streak. He's beat. That'll be shit Sarundalo. Was it Juan Manuel, is it? He's beat the shit Sarundalo. He's beat Thiago Montero, Hugo Carabelli, one of the Delines. Is it Hugo Deline or Merkel Deline? Which one? Hugo Deline, he beats him. Sakamoto, Barrios Vera, and Christopher Eubanks all on the hard court. Federico Correa hasn't played a game since the end of November. He got smoked by Demir in straight sets. Was that on the clay? It was. That was on the clay. He only plays clay games. He only plays games on the clay. Federico Correa has been playing tennis since 2007. And he's only won 13 games on the hard court. Easy as you like. Easy as you like. Tristan Boyer, along with Alex Di Minor. Fuck it. 2 trebles there, straight off the bat. The fact that I've managed to get them boosted to evens, I am very, very pleased about that. Very pleased. I'm alright with just having a little sprinkle on both. While it's the first round, you know, we like to keep it sensible, don't we? Don't see anything wrong with them, you know. The only one would be the Zizou Bergs game where I go, oh, okay, I get it. The whole fitness issue and all that. But providing he's fit, he beats Facundo Diaz Acosta on the hard court 9 times out of 10. You know he does. I feel like if he's in that bad a shape, he won't be able to last the match. And even if he's about 70-80%, I thought it with Jack Draper the day before. And, you know, he just about managed to get past on sheer quality alone. I feel like Zizou Bergs may just be able to do that for me. I'm willing to trust him just in this first round. But Zizou Bergs, Tristan Boyer, Alex de Minaur for evens as well. Come on, I can't help myself. I can't say no to that. And then, look, we'll quickly go through these. I'm looking at doing a double. I don't know if there's one pin. There's one pin, but you can parlay any two of these games and you'll get plus money for it for just over 3.5 sets. So let me know what you think on these as we go through them. It will be short. So first one, we've got Borna Coric, Christian Garin. See both of them taking a set there, can't you? Both very inconsistent, bang out of form. Christian Garin did look okay in qualifying. He's an underdog here as well, which makes me believe he'll most likely take a set off him. Coric beat him in straight sets in these are in 2020. You know, they haven't played in the past 5 years. Christian Garin did look good in qualifying. He's beat both the Leans, and he beat Laszlo Djere as well. We haven't seen Borna Coric since the United Cup. He did manage to get a win over Felix Auger-Aliassime. So I don't know. The levels will most definitely fluctuate in that. I can see the over 3.5. I couldn't pick a side, so that's why I'm leaning towards that. Moving on, probably the most obvious one is Hubert Hurkacz and Tallon Griekspoor. These always go over. They always take a set off each other. There's always tiebreakers. I feel both of them were... Was it the United Cup they played in? Let's have a quick look. Hubie beat Shevchenko, Harris, and ended up getting beat by Taylor Fritz, although he did take a set off him. Griekspoor in the Davis Cup, was that in November? Yeah, we haven't seen Tallon Griekspoor since November. But then there's about a week between them, so it may not matter. He got beat by Yannick Sinner. Straight sets in the Davis Cup, although there was a tiebreaker in that. And then he managed to beat Struff 2-1. A tiebreaker as well. Always tiebreakers all around for Hubie and Griekspoor. Have a look at them. Over 3.5 seems to be decent enough for me. I think Griekspoor's good enough to win a set there, 100%. He should be good for a set and a best of 5 against Hubie. We've seen Hubie struggle with consistency over the years, haven't we? Especially in these bigger sets. Let's have a quick look. It went off. Where are you? He got to the quarterfinals last year, dropping a couple sets on the way. He dropped 2 to Mensah, drop 1 to Humbert, beat Omar Jasika and Artik Azov, but you'd expect them to just drill them. Tiebreakers everywhere. Just tiebreakers. Got beat by Medvedev in the quarterfinal. Round of 16 the year before that. Tiebreakers everywhere. You get me point. Over 3.5. It's got to be, Annie. It's got to be. Which one? Which else? Commissania, Daniel Altmaier. Seen a lot of people betting on Commissania, and I don't think it's a bad bet. I really don't. Do I think he's going to beat Daniel Altmaier in straight sets? Probably not. Do I think the same as Daniel Altmaier? Exactly. I can't see either of these winning in straight sets, especially when they both prefer the clay. I think over 3.5 on that one is... I'm so tempted to do it, you know. I am so tempted. It's not a game I'd ever really watch. I couldn't pick a side in that. But I would most definitely expect both of them to take a set off each other. Come on. Why the fuck not? I can see it in all of them. Matteo Arnaldi, Lorenzo Musetti. That's at over 3.5 if I've ever seen one. If I've ever seen one. Couldn't pick a side. I'd probably lean more towards Matteo Arnaldi on the hard court than Musetti. I really would. I'm not going to touch it, but that's just food for thought. Sonego and Wawrinka. Yeah, and Sonego was a big favourite here, you know, like 1.4. He doesn't put in that type of... Look, I know it's Stan Wawrinka, so maybe Sonego probably will beat him, but they don't, like, both of these on the return are shite, aren't they? The return games are so poor, I think. So I feel like a break will probably be hard to come by, or if we do get a break, it'll be next on impossible for whoever's give it up to get it back. So I can see tiebreakers in this. potentially, I definitely see it going over the 3.5. I say there's 7 here, and you can imagine if you parlayed all them for just go over. The odds on that would be insane. Never mind. Echeverri and Flavio Caboli. Once again, Flavio Caboli looked dump, didn't he? He looked so bad in what tournament was that? Auckland. And he got beat by Lucanardi. Alright, he was injured, so we'll give him that. But before he retired, he looked so bad. Couldn't save his life. I hope he's in a lot better shape to face Echeverri. Echeverri's not exactly the best on the hard court anyway, but as we've mentioned, he is making improvements as the seasons go on. Head to head is 3-0 to Echeverri as well, and he has beat him on the hard court. Funnily enough, he beat him in the Australian Open qualifying a couple years ago. I don't see. Can you see Echeverri 3-0? I don't know. I just can't. Am I saying it's impossible? Not at all, but let's be realistic. I think Echeverri can maintain a level to just smoke Flavio Caboli. Me personally, I think Flavio Caboli is a lot better on the hard court than Echeverri. On his day, if we're getting the best of both, I don't see why Flavio Caboli is such a big underdog. It's because he pulled out. How much of it can you trust? I don't know. I think he should be good to take a set. And I definitely think Echeverri takes a set off him. So over 3.5 seems like a steal and that. And then the main one I want to touch on this, get your thoughts in the comments. Ben Shelton's taking on Beanach. Now, I think Ben Shelton would probably beat him. He has done the last 2 times they played. As a matter of fact, Beanach never took a set off Ben Shelton. Shelton didn't look too good in his game against Mensik, did he, to start the season? Not really. He did take a set off him. Beanach hasn't had the best start either, Got beat by Sonego in Hong Kong, ended up beating Yannick Hanfman, barely, and then got beat by Dinky 2-1. There's a big total on this. I think it's 43.5. That would suggest to me that these are going to at least win a set each. 2 tiebreakers in the last time out in Washington on the hard court. 7-5, 7-6 on the clay in Houston. That might be the one, I'm so tempted. I haven't made it official yet, apart from the 2 trebles, but I think Shelton and Beanach over 3.5 sets, paired with one of the others, might be a bit too tempting for me to say no to. So, I don't know. Like I said, it was just food for thought. I was just throwing them out there instead of going through each one and saying, I don't know. Maybe have a look at the over 3.5 sets on them if your bookies does it. And then, I think that's going to do us, folks. I think that is going to do us. Not touching that El Chapo game. Popper and Mutet, like I said. Rublev, Fonseca. I really, really do not know for them. If I've left them out, they're either of no value to me or... Well, yeah. That's definitely why. I've left them out, because they're of no value to me. So, I apologise if anyone was waiting for a Gabe Diallo and Lucanardi, but I feel like we've covered enough for today. Let's not go too crazy. Let's get through round 1 and we'll get locked in for round 2. Sound good? Of course it does. Right. Appreciate you stopping by, folks. Appreciate you spending the time to watch. As always, like the video for me. Subscribe as well. Do yourself the favour. Right then. 2 trebles for me, with a potential of a third. Well, it'll be a double on the overs for the set, but don't be shocked if there's nothing there. That's if there's anyone still watching. Well, doesn't really matter anyway. Take it easy, folks. Take care of yourself. Take care of one another. I'll be saying good night to you. Let's go get some cash today. Enjoy the tennis, and I'll see you tomorrow.